Welcome to GreensandBeachHawaii.com. The Greensand Beach is located on the southern end of the Big Island of Hawaii. It's a little bit west of South Point, and we'll show more specifically where that is in a moment. But generally, if you're staying up in the Waikoloa area, it's going to be approximately 80 to 85 miles down to South Point, and it's about a 2-hour and 20-minute drive, although it can get a little bit longer depending upon the traffic. From Kona Airport, it's a little shorter, only about 65 miles, but still just about 2 hours. Now, when you look at the distance of 65 miles or 80, 85 miles, if you're up by Waikoloa Village, you probably think, well, I could do that in an hour. But once you get into the town of Kona and then through some of the other smaller towns, it certainly gets a little bit slower, especially if there's traffic. The main highway is the Queen K, or Highway 11, you'll notice on the screen here, and that's going to be your main route. Once you get all the way down towards the southern end of the island, what you're going to do is look for signs for South Point, and you're going to make a right if you're going south, exiting off Highway 11 there, and you're going to continue on down through South Point Road. Now, South Point Road, and here we switch to an aerial view, the satellite view. South Point Road actually can get you to two separate places. Notice the first green circle on the left outlined with the arrow. Now, when you take South Point Road all the way south there, you can make a right, and the right actually seems a little bit more natural, a little more evident to those driving. And that will take you to the, as they call it, the boat ramp, or a place where you'll see a lot of fishing boats, and there's a little bit of a cliff there. It's important, though, and it's okay if you go there anyway. You can always turn around and come back and rejoin the road, but it's best to stay left and actually stay on South Point Road. And the reason why that is, you notice that that second green circle on the right, Greensand Beach is actually west of there. That's going to be on the right if you're looking at that circle. And so especially if you're going to be walking, even from that second circle on the right, it's still going to be about a 2.5 mile hike. So it's better to park over there. And what you'll notice is when you pull in, you'll get to sort of the end of the road. There's usually some cars there in a little dirt or gravel parking lot, and you'll want to park there. And if the times that we've been there, you'll notice that there's a lot of people getting ready to hike or those coming back. Not that many people, but there's still folks over there. Now, here again is where we show the route of actually where one would hike. And I mentioned that you'll park in that lot. And the nice thing about this hike is you have to go all the way up to Mahana Bay, which is outlined in the top right-hand corner. That's where Greensand Beach is. It's about a 2.25, 2.5 mile hike each way. So let's just call it round trip approximately 5 miles. It could be hot. It could be windy. It's going to be dusty. You want to make sure you have good hiking shoes. And essentially you're walking along the ocean. The ocean's always going to be on the right, so it's not like you're going to get lost amongst these rutted jeep trails. And the jeep trails can be sort of deep at times, a little bit jagged, so you got to watch the footing. But the idea is to walk along that path all the way until you get to the Greensand Beach, the cinder cone, or the top of that cinder cone, which is where you're going to be able to get down to the beach. A lot of people ask whether or not they could simply drive. Well, one, from what I understand, the rental car companies don't like you to drive there. But two, unless you're really experienced in off-roading, we've seen, just hiking back and forth, people bottoming out their cars, even bottoming out or sometimes getting stuck. There are sometimes locals who will offer rides in the back of their pickup truck. They seem to know the routes, which of the roads to take. And I will mention there's a number of different Jeep roads. If you're walking, it's fine. Just choose the one. Make sure you stay with the ocean on the right. But these folks are not always out there, so you can't count on getting a ride. So that's how you get to down to Greensand Beach. Again, it's about over a 2-hour drive from most of the locations. Kona Airport, certainly the north of there, gets a little bit longer. take Highway 11 all the way down till you see the signs for South Point. Get on South Point Road. You want to stay to the left, find the dirt parking lot, and then you'll get to take that 2.5 mile hike up to Mahana Bay. Thanks for listening, and for more information, go to www.greensandbeachhawaii.com.